This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Olive oil. Thomas Paine said, "A nude awakening." Death. Kidlit. And medicine. Player one, you start us off. Most U.S.-produced olive oil comes from this state, so watch out, you dancing raisins. Here's the correct response. California. Select again. It's pure and delicious. The oil that's the cold-pressed result of the first pressing of olives is extra this. The correct response is virgin. Please pick again, player one. Here's a pH test. All olive oils are graded in accordance with the degree of this they contain. Lower is better. Okay, player one. Yep. Player one, back to you for our next selection. This Greek dish of lamb marinated in olive oil and spices, grilled and skewered, gets its name from the Greek for skewer. Yes, player one? That's not it. Here's the correct response. Souvlaki. You again, player one. This LA Area Institute's famed olive walk is harvested for olive oil named for the school. The correct response is Caltech. We return to you, player one. The crisis number one begins. These are the times that try men's these. Okay, player one. Nope. Sorry. Here's the response we were looking for. Souls. Player one. Pick again. The fate of Charles I hath only made these individuals more subtle, not more just. We're talking about kings. Player one, you pick again, please. No man was a warmer wisher for reconciliation than myself before the fatal 19th of this month, 1775. Yes, player one? Right, you. Hey, you're on the plus side. Select again. In The Rights of Man in 1791, Paine wrote, "The cause of the rebellion in this country is that of the whole world." Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. Player one, back to you. This basic document is the property of a nation and not of those who exercise the government. Let's hear it, player one. You got it. Player one, pick again. In 1953, he produced the first issue of Playboy for $10,000. Here's the response we were looking for. Hugh Hefner. Player one, choose again. No buts about it. David Caruso, Jimmy Smits, and Dennis Franz all turned the other cheek on this cop show. Here's the correct response. NYPD Blue. We return to you, player one. Kathleen Turner and Jerry Hall weren't close-minded, playing Mrs. Her in the stage version of The Graduate. The correct response is Robinson. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Trying to escape his teen idol image, this Partridge Family star posed nude for Rolling Stone in 1972. Here's the correct response. David Cassidy. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Answer, it's the Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. How much? Here is your Daily Double clue. His nude descending a staircase, number 2, shocked viewers at the Armory show. Right. We return to you, player one. Bubonic plague's more descriptive name. Yes, player one? Yes. Player one, you pick again, please. The 7 words that complete the speech Patrick Henry gave on March 23, 1775. Okay, player one. Correct. Select again. HBO comedy starring Jason Schwartzman and Zach Galifianakis. Here's what we wanted. Bored to death. Player one, back to you. Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur's rap music record label. The correct response is Death Row. Player one, you pick again, please. It's the title of a famous 1793 painting by Jacques-Louis David. Here's the correct response. The Death of Marat. Please pick again, player one. A game of hide-and-seek leads Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy into this land that's always winter and never Christmas. It's player one. No, sorry. Here's what we were looking for. Narnia. Player one, choose again. Leroy Brown is the real name of the boy detective with this bookish nickname. Here's what we wanted. Encyclopedia. You get to pick again, player one. This Louise Fitzhugh lass spies on her classmates and writes about them in her secret notebook. Here's what we were looking for. Harriet. Player one, back to you. In a Francis Hodgson Burnett tale, Mary Lennox tends to the secret this. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Garden. Player one. Pick again. This Kipling lad goes on a Himalayan journey with a Tibetan lama. Here's what we wanted. Kim. Player one, you pick again, please. A cold that lasts longer than a week may indicate inflammation of these air spaces in the skull. Here's what we wanted. The sinuses. You get to pick again, player one. And here's Sarah.
Red blood cells are distorted into a particular shape and don't carry oxygen well in patients with this type of anemia.
Yes, player one? No. Here's the correct response. Sickle cell. We return to you, player one. Suspect Rocky Mountain spotted fever even in patients from the Carolinas, as it's an area with lots of these critters. We're talking about ticks. We return to you, player one. A stent is a tube often used to hold these open, especially the coronary ones. Let's hear it, player one. Good. And now the $1,000 clue. The air puff test, a measure of eye pressure, is used to diagnose this condition. It's player one.
Yeah!
That is correct. The Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Let's see what happens in Double Jeopardy with these categories awaiting the players. Ancient Greek drama. Accentuate it. Cats and Dogs. The Songs of Paul Simon. He was president when, and The Deep Blue Sea. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. Judges were chosen by lot for the drama competition known as the Dionysia in this city. Here's what we wanted. Athens. Please pick again, player one. According to a play about her by Euripides, this woman did not spend the Trojan War at Troy, but in Egypt. Yes, player one? That's not it. Here's the response we were looking for. Helen. Select again. Let's get Jimmy's assistance on this clue.
In The Clouds by Aristophanes, a man desires to send his son to study with this Greek philosopher depicted here.
It's player one. Good. Player one, back to you. This title-angry wife plots revenge against Jason by killing his new flame with a poisoned garment. Here's the correct response. Medea. You again, player one. Answer, one of the daily doubles. You are in first place. You need to select your wager. All right, here's your clue. The three parts of this Greek dramatic trilogy are Agamemnon, Coephae, and Eumenides. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we wanted. The Oresteia. We return to you, player one. In this language of the British Isles, you'll see accent marks on the letter W. Player one? No, sorry. The correct response is Welsh. Player one. Pick again. Spanish words with the stress on the last syllable have accent marks only if they end in N, S, or one of these. Here's the correct response. A vowel. We return to you, player one. You may ask why this language has an accent mark in its word for why. ¿Por qué? Let's hear it, player one. Sorry. Here's what we were looking for. Italian. We return to you, player one. Let's go over to Sarah.
In poetry, it's a foot, or metrical unit consisting of an unstressed followed by a stressed syllable.
Here's the correct response. An iamb. We return to you, player one. Some Shakespeare editions use accents to clarify meter, as in this man's, "The time is out of joint, O cursed spite." The correct response is Hamlet. Select again. Siamese kittens develop their full adult color within a few months, but are born mostly this color. It's player one. You got it. Select again. The Bombay cat, a cross between a Burmese and a black American shorthair, originated in this largest Kentucky city. Yes, player one? Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. The correct response is Louisville. Please pick again, player one. In England, this cat breed was once known as a foreign blue. The correct response is the Russian blue. Player one, back to you for our next selection. This dog that derives its name from a place on the eastern shore of the Adriatic is also called a coach dog. Here's the response we were looking for. The Dalmatian. Player one, pick again. Corgis come in two breeds, Cardigan Welsh Corgi and this one. Here's the correct response. Pembroke. You get to pick again, player one. It begins, "Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Here's what we wanted. Sound of silence. Select again. In Mrs. Robinson, Simon wrote, "A nation turns its lonely eyes to this man." Here's the response we were looking for. Joe DiMaggio. Please pick again, player one. Goodbye to Rosie, the Queen of Corona. See you, me, and him down by the schoolyard. Here's what we wanted. Julio. You get to pick again, player one.
Yeah!
The second daily double. You are in the lead right now. How much? Answer this. Simon's 1973 song about this color transparency film said, "Give us those nice bright colors." No. Here's the correct response. Kodachrome. Player one, back to you. In Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon told her to sail on by. Your time has come to shine. The correct response is Silver Girl. Please pick again, player one. E.T. the Extraterrestrial was released, grossing more than $300 million that year. It's player one. That's right. Way to go. Player one, choose again. Let's go over to Kelly.
He was president in 1906 when he proclaimed Devil's Tower in Wyoming the first national monument.
It's player one. That is correct. We return to you, player one. The Telstar communications satellite relayed the first live TV pictures from the United States to Europe. Here's what we were looking for. John Kennedy. Player one. Pick again. The U.S. merchant ship Mayaguez was seized by Cambodian forces. U.S. forces rescued the crew of 39. The correct response is Gerald Ford. We return to you, player one. The Alien and Sedition Acts were adopted by Congress. Okay, player one.
Yeah!
Good. We return to you, player one. Heading southeast, the Yucatan Channel between Mexico and Cuba leads into this sea. It's player one. Good for you. You again, player one. The Romans called it Mare Nostrum, our sea. Player one. Correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Please pick again, player one. Astrakhan, Russia is found nearest the shores of this large sea, which is really a salt lake. Here's the correct response. The Caspian. Please pick again, player one. It's found on the southern end of the Suez Canal. We're talking about the Red Sea. Here's the $2,000 clue. The Crimean Mountains contain prominent cliffs found on the northern coast of this sea. The correct response is the Black Sea. Good game. I'll see you for Final Jeopardy in a moment. This is the Final Jeopardy category for today. Landmarks. So, what's your wager? Now, let's reveal the Final Jeopardy clue. Some of its pieces, which weighed up to 50 tons, were quarried at Marlborough Downs, about 20 miles away. your response? And this correct response will add how much to your score? Congratulations, player one. You're the winner. Good game, everyone, and thank you so much for playing.